We're about to dive into a moment in history that is, honestly, hard to even imagine. A time when the democratic heartbeat of a giant nation just stopped.
I want you to just picture it. A nation that is defined by this constant, vibrant, and often chaotic chorus of opinions and debates and sounds. And then, literally overnight, a deep, enforced silence just fell over everything. It's a pretty chilling thought, right? Well, it's a true story.
So, how in the world does something like this even happen? How does a country of that scale just get muted? The answer came in a single word, broadcast late one night over the radio. So what was the trigger? Well, the prime minister at the time, Indira Gandhi, had just been found guilty of electoral malpractice by a high court. A huge deal, a ruling that could have ended her political career. So her response? It wasn't to resign. Nope. On June 25th, 1975, a radio broadcast announced a national emergency. Now, the term sounds pretty simple, but its impact was anything but. This wasn't about a hurricane or an earthquake. This was the suspension of democracy itself. The effect was immediate. I mean, instantaneous. The fundamental rights that were the very bedrock of the nation were just suspended indefinitely. The world's largest democracy had literally stopped breathing. You know, declaring an emergency is one thing, but actually enforcing it across a nation of hundreds of millions of people, well, that takes a true machinery of fear, and it was set up with chilling efficiency. And this wasn't subtle at all. The government moved swiftly. Opposition leaders were arrested in pre-dawn raids with no charges and no trials. Newspapers, the lifeblood of public debate, they faced censorship before they could even print. And on a personal level, privacy just vanished. Your phone calls, your mail, nothing was truly private anymore. This created an atmosphere where fear just became the currency of daily life. People started being cautious, whispering in public, always looking over their shoulders. Asking the wrong question or being overheard saying the wrong thing wasn't just awkward, it could actually land you in prison. The official line was that this was all to save the nation from chaos. But the one question that hung in the air during all those silent months was this: was the nation really being saved from chaos, or was it being saved from the truth? So, with this machinery of control locked firmly in place, the entire nation entered this strange period of suspended animation. Its vibrant democracy was put on pause, and absolutely no one knew for how long. For 21 months, almost 2 full years. Just let that number sink in. That's how long the country lived without its fundamental democratic voice. And it was just this long, featureless wait. I mean, on the surface, the country kept functioning. Trains were running, offices were open, but the soul of its democracy, the ability to protest, to choose, to speak freely, that was completely frozen in time. But silence, especially a silence that's been forced on people, can't last forever. What happened next was completely unexpected, and it showed the true power of a population that had just been waiting. And then, a really surprising move in January 1977. The government, maybe thinking its control was absolute, called for elections. After 21 months of quiet, the people were finally being given a chance to speak. That election became so much more than a political choice. It was a referendum on democracy itself. You had citizens lining up for hours, the ink on their fingers becoming this symbol of defiance. And the result was an overwhelming rejection of the emergency. It wasn't a whisper, it was a roar. And with that vote, the 21-month silence was officially over. The fundamental rights were restored, and the democratic process, maybe a little bruised, was back. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. It's this stark reminder that freedom isn't just some abstract idea. It's a deeply held human need. When you suppress it, it doesn't just vanish. It simply waits. It waits for its moment to rise.